All right, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, time's right about that time. Not to self-time already, motherfucker. If you don't know what now, you know, bitch, straight into it. Let's do this motherfucking shit. You know how we do it. What's good, my fellow underdogs? Now, here's the thing, all right? Damn, there's a lot of videos that I wanted to make that I'm starting to think of very quickly at the last minute. So many unplanned videos, but yeah, here's the thing. This video that I'm going to make is going to be about this YouTuber named True Prodigy. He was on the on Mr.Locario and Steve the Dean's Real Game No Theory dating podcast show. And basically he was talking about how when he code approaches women and talks to them, you know, he would film the interactions with the woman, you know, just to, you know, because he also teaches game as well. But, you know, he's trying to, like, he's one of those people who try to pick, he's a pickup artist that tries to teach guys game. But then, unlike Mr.Locario and Steve the Dean, he actually shows in application the results of his game to actually go up to the woman and talk to them. So just to give guys an idea of what to expect. A lot of times, Mr.Locario, you know, they have game, but, you know, it's like their game is sort of ambiguous. It's like they give you vague advice, you try to take it, and then whenever it fucks up, they want to say it's your fault because you didn't follow it the right way, even though they didn't give very clear instructions. And in order to understand the instructions, you have to buy my book and all this fucking shit, whatever. All that other bullshit. You know, it's like they never really... Mr.Locario and Steve the Dean and all these other dating coaches, they never actually apply their strategies to, you know, the type, they never put their game in application when it comes to actually talking to women. You know, they would have like these old recordings, not up to date. It's just shit. Like, how are you supposed to know that your game actually works if we don't see your game in application? That's the thing. Like, for example, Papa Pimp and, you know, all these other dating coaches, QB Flexin, Passport Bro. I mean, you know, him, just, there's so many guys that, you know, actually go out in application to try to, you know, to try to exercise the extent of their abilities when it comes to game. These Real Game No Theory guys, I mean, they don't really do that shit. All I hear them do, you know, they just say a lot of talk, but not action. How the fuck are you going to call your show Real Game No Theory when all I hear y'all do is talk? Where's the application of your game being put to work for you to test your resolve to show the other guys how it's done? You know, especially since y'all guys be making videos spending the majority of your time criticizing other guys for whenever they approach and talk to women, and all y'all niggas do is laugh and make fun of them and watch them fail and talk about how they fuck up and what they're doing wrong and condescend to these niggas. Why don't you show these motherfuckers, why don't you show these rookies how it's done? Oh, mighty one with so much game. And I know what they're going to say. Oh, well, us showing you how it's done, what is that going to do for you? Well, first of all, it'll show us that you're really about what you say you are and how you guys are just, you know, it will prove to me that you guys aren't just all talk and no action. And it'll make you more credible when it comes to the type of game that men should be following. But nah, they don't want to do that because it's easier to sit back and watch and laugh and make fun of other men fail, all while keeping your own failures with women completely hidden away from the world. But these are your kings, right? But anyways, they will either, and every time they're always asked, oh, so when are you actually going to show guys, you know, the code approach of how to actually walk up to women and talk to them and shit? We want to see the results of that being put in application. They'll always say some bullshit like, oh, well, you know, the women, they don't know that, oh, we're recording them, and if we do, then we might get sued and we're going to get in trouble. My thing is, dude, if you had all this game like how the fuck you said you did, then why the fuck are you worried about getting sued? If you have game, right? You would only get sued if you if you're a dude with no game, right? The fact that you guys are saying shit like that, you niggas are operating in fear, according to your very same logic. But anyways, getting off of that, I just want to say, you know, I don't think that there's anything wrong in this day and age, especially when we live in the modern day and age with modern women and the Me Too era and women falsely accusing men of doing shit they didn't do. Why the fuck wouldn't you, as a man, protect yourself by filming every interaction that you have with a woman? A woman could fucking lie and say that he did this to me, he raped me, he did all this bullshit, and it not even be true. There was an Uber driver who, you know, he had a woman in the backseat of his car. She was being belligerent, acting like a total bitch, and she was going to like when the dude asked this woman to get out of my car when she was acting a damn fool, she was going to threaten that I'm going to call the police and tell them that you hit me or you assaulted me And had it not been for that dude having a fucking camera in his dash cam to record this bitch saying that shit, everybody would have believed the bitch over him. Shit, in case a bitch want to lie on me and say I did something to her. Shit, in case a bitch want to tell her big brother that I put my motherfucking hands on her or anything like that, I got the motherfucking evidence right here. Bitch, the truth is inside of me. Matter of fact, the truth is on me, nigga. I got the evidence right here. Fuck out my face. Gotta have that shit with you at all times. That's the thing. I believe in this day and age, if you were smart and you're approaching these women, you would film every fucking interaction that you would have with a lot of these women. Whether or not they know they're being filmed or not, it's not against the law. I mean, you can film and have body cams. People do that shit for their fucking protection. Especially if you're filming in a public area, there's nothing wrong with that shit. Now, if you want to post it on the internet, yes, to a certain extent, you are going to have their consent in order to put the video out there. If she says no, then don't put the video out. But if she says yes, then, you know, you can put the video out. You know, it's at their discretion if you want to put the video out or not. But the thing is, if you were smart, what most people would do is, you know, you blur the woman's face out. You know, you either put a voice changer, blur the woman's face out so she can't be seen or whatnot, and just be like, you know, just put the video out that way. So then that way nobody will know that it's that woman. You know, there's no law against that. As long as her face is hidden, as long as her face, you know, is completely covered. I mean, people do that shit all the time, especially, you know, in social experiments, you know, fucking, a lot of these social experiments, they have the woman's face covered, or, you know, or they have the woman's face, you know, not covered, depending on if whether or not the woman consents to the video or not. If she doesn't consent to the video, you might can still put it out there, but there are ways that you have to do it to where her face is blurred, to where, you know, it's like, you know, you don't see her face. So, because if that's the case, the only way that you could get sued is if you release the video without her consent. She doesn't have to know if whether or not she's being filmed or not, you know? But what she has to know is if the video comes out on the internet and you put it out there, I mean, if you don't have her consent, then you can't reveal her face or anything like that. But like revealing her face and her likeness and shit like that on camera without her consent, revealing her face, that might be something that she can sue for. But if not, then there's not anything wrong with it. And this is what lets you know, man, that these dudes, when it comes to game, as much as you think you know about game, you have very little game when it comes to the motherfucking law. And the law states that I looked up. I literally looked up, you know, gyms. I'm like, can you record in a gym? You know, can you record having a conversation with a person in a gym? You know, they say that you can, you know. My thing is, as long as you're not being creepy, or as long as you're not stalking somebody, or whatever the fuck it is, the case may be, or as long as you're not on no weird shit, and that's the thing, you know? And then if you're trying to shit on True Prodigy for having his cameras to film his interactions with women, my thing is, you have old recordings of you talking to women, and you talking to those women back. Do those women know that their voice is being recorded? When they talk about how much that they want you and all that shit, like they had a conversation with you in confidence, and you're taking their voice on the internet to try to show men, other men, just how much game you have on some locker room talk shit. Look at how much game I have. I'm gonna have a recording of, you know, this girl talking about, oh, how she thinks I'm cool and how sexy I am and shit. I mean, why the fuck would it be okay for you to have all these recordings of women that you're speaking with and showing that shit on the internet? Those women didn't consent to that shit. By your fucking logic, those women should be able to sue you. But like I said, these niggas don't know shit about the law. And they're just using the we can get sued argument as a fucking cop-out to never be able to show any type of results that they have with the women that they're talking to. They do not want to test the result of their game and application to see just how effective their game actually is. You're using recordings of bitches on some ASMR shit. You don't know if that's like a fucking, for all you know, that could be a fucking phone sex operator call.
I can be anything you want me to be.
Do you need someone to confide in and trust?
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. So call me now.
One night.
This nigga's phone bill is through the fucking roof. The nigga be having phone sex calls with like 50 some odd bitches a motherfucking day, Steve the Dean. This nigga.
Of course. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, man?
But yeah, you can pretty much film any interaction that you want with a person and you don't have to tell them shit. Now, the only thing, or the only time that you will probably actually have to tell them is if when you're gonna make it public and put that shit on the internet, would you have to tell them about it? And then it varies with each state. You know, some states are like one party or two party states. So you got to find out which city that you're in that allows, you know, one party, two party states. It's the same thing with like phone calls and like recordings and shit. Like, let's say if you're recording a phone call that you're having with somebody, sometimes in some states it's one party states, which means that you don't have to divulge that you're recording, you know, that they're being recorded on the line. Some states you do have to divulge that information. Yes, you're being recorded. So that way you can be able to use, as a matter of fact, lots of people do that shit for their protection. If anything, that's one of the smartest ways for you to protect yourself against this Me Too climate and all that bullshit, you know? And as an added plus, you can use that to actually show off the application to be like, hey, this is how strong my game is when it comes to, you know, how it is that I can pull women. Like Steve the Dean and Locario, but mostly Steve, was over here talking about oh, well, if you're filming a woman, you know, having an interaction, she could not only sue you, but she could sue the gym. No, the fuck she can't. You have any idea how many people put their cameras filming themselves working out and shit? How many people walk in and out of the fucking camera while you're trying to film yourself work out? You think they want to be filmed in the background by that fucking logic, dude? Why aren't more gyms getting sued? All this game that you niggas claim to have, yeah, you don't even want to show the results of your own fucking game, all because of some fake ass pseudo arbitrary fear of the law that you don't even fucking know. Oh, but these are your kings, everyone. Is this your king? Is this your king? I don't know about all that. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. But until then, I am out. You already know what it is, man. It's the underdog motherfucking soldier. I have spoken. And on behalf of all the real niggas everywhere, I approve this message. Deuces.